Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Chicago White Sox March to October, and this could potentially be a big one. And that is because we are one win away from reaching the World Series. But it is far from a guarantee that we'll win this game for the sweep because we have to enter in the top of the sixth with a 2-0 deficit. Now, if that last game didn't happen the way it did, I wouldn't say that I'm apprehensive about winning this next game, but in that last game we entered in the same spot, except we were only down 1-0, and I couldn't even muster a run until the 9th inning with an out. And speaking of that last game, just all the heroics, just so many big spots like Ken Giles and Michael Givens and even Ronaldo Lopez keeping that game tied in extras. You had Eloy with his home run to tie it in the 9th. You had James McCann, of all people, the guy who had 6 at-bats throughout the whole season, getting a 2-out single against Aroldis Chapman to give Tim Anderson the chance to do what he did and hit the game-tying home run, 2-run home run in the 10th inning after we gave up the lead in the top of the 10th. And then, of course, of all people, Leury Garcia, after Danny Mendick fails to cash in and walk the game off twice. Leury Garcia in his first at-bat of the game, literally the last guy off the bench, coming through with the game-winning single in the 15th inning. But anyway, enough about that last game. We got some work to do in this one. But before we get into that, I do want to say, like I've been saying before, all of these videos recently, make sure you're leaving in the comments what teams you would like to see next in March to October. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to decide because I've gotten a lot of different suggestions and a lot of different teams have been intriguing to me. So I'm not sure if I just want to decide on my own or if I want to do some kind of polling or something like that, but I'll decide how I want to decide, hopefully sometime soon, so that you guys can know what I'm planning on. But with that being said, I think it's time to just hop into this game down 2-0 in the top of the 6th, trying to clinch that World Series spot.
Let's go down to the field with Heidi Watney for a report on what she took away from her talks with the players. Heidi?
Matt, although they find themselves one win away from sweeping the ALCS and punching their ticket to the Fall Classic, they're not taking anything for granted coming into what they expect to be a tough fight in Game 4. When asked how it felt to be up 3-0, one player told me, "Last I checked, it takes 4 wins to advance, not 3. It feels good, but it doesn't mean much yet. Let's talk again when we get one more win."
And man, I can't stress enough how big it was to come out victorious in that last game. Because if we ended up losing that last game, we still would have been up in the series 2-1. But our best pitching out of the bullpen would just be gone, and I wouldn't have really liked my chances, if I'm being honest. Especially if we entered in the same situation where we were down 2-0. But now, since we're up 3-0 in the series, even if I end up losing this game, which I don't plan on. I don't plan on phoning it in, obviously, but even if I end up losing this game because of a depleted bullpen and all that, we still have a commanding lead, and it's very likely that we're not going to blow it based on how I've been playing overall in this postseason. And of course, as I say, not blowing it, we're giving up a leadoff single. And we get him striking out Luke Voit on the challenge fastball. Caught a lot of the zone there, and we just overpowered him there. And if we can turn this, there's not too much speed down the line, and we do. Tim Anderson flashing the leather. Doesn't do that often, but that's great to see in these high leverage situations. Alright, now this is what it's all about today, at least until we can take the lead, is can our offense bounce back? Because this whole postseason, even the one game that we lost, our bats had not gone cold, and that's a good start. I think I'm going to keep them at first, though. But our bats hadn't gone cold at all to this point. We'd been scoring a blistering amount of runs every game. And then that last game, our bats went real cold, and we only managed to score 4 runs in 15 innings, and we just couldn't put them away for the longest time. So, our bats need to bounce back in this one, and Anderson got us off to a good start. And that's not a good way to follow. Moncada grounding into the double play. And Eloy, oh no. Is that Glaber of all people? I guess it's fair enough if Anderson's flashing the glove for us. But man, that's an unfortunate inning. Oh, and I'm giving up a single here to Gary Sanchez. I guess a single is better than what else could have happened with Gary, because I think that might have been a perfect. Oh no, dude, I knew that as soon as I released it that I missed the spot. Gio Urshela. He's been like one player for them that's actually been performing in this series. He comes through again, makes this lead double what it was before. And Rodon seemed like he was going fine for the most part, but after that I don't think I can leave him in anymore. Can't let him give up more runs than he already has. Four runs is already a pretty big deficit. We'll get Colomé in here. He's one of our few players who's not gassed. Oh, dude. This is not going well. Oh, no. Oh, that's going to get down fair, too. Dude, what do I do? Alright, we end the inning there on the strikeout. They threatened for more. A 5-run deficit is already going to be very tough to overcome. But if anyone can do it, it is us, because our bats have the capability of exploding. Mazara, that's what he's been doing this whole postseason, man. Mazara has quickly turned into one of my favorite players to use on this team. The whole regular season, he was just kind of, not like he was bad or anything, but he was just kind of another player that would produce. But man, in this playoffs, he's been lasering the ball everywhere. Oh, dude, no, I'm tired of this luck in this game. That ball is destroyed. I know I was early on it, but still. Luis Robert, he might be able to beat that out. Oh, he's definitely on. Okay, I'll take that, man. I'll take that. We got, I don't want to say screwed, but we got unlucky with Abreu's line out. So I could use a return there on that. But we got to cash in. That didn't matter if we can't cash in. Alright, well, they walk Grandal with 2 outs, bringing up Danny Mendick. And if it weren't for that last game where Mendick failed twice with the bases loaded, I would be ecstatic for him coming up to the plate right now. But my confidence is shaken. He's not been performing that well in the postseason so far. Yeah, I know that's not going anywhere. I knew it. I knew it off the bat. Danny once again can't come through with the bases loaded. That is a shame. If he just hits a single, that could have been 2 runs. We'd have chipped away. Is Eloy going to make this play? Oh, he does. I didn't think he had the range. Colomé gets through a clean 8th. Tim Anderson leading this inning off just like he led the game off for us. Well, our part of the game, but the 6th inning. Alright, he hit it on the ground, but it wasn't to anybody. We might have something cooking. And I missed. I screwed that up. Unless it carries, I screwed that up. Yeah, it's not going to carry. Man, that was a pitch I could have hit or taken. And it would have been a strike, but it wouldn't have been as bad of a result there. We could have taken a pitch with 2-0, but at least it moves the runner up. Mazara, though. Oh my god, why can't anything get down when we have runners in scoring position? Oh, I thought that was another gapper for Nomar, and that was going to score 1 and maybe 2. I don't know, man. I'm willing to chalk this game up as just not our game. I mean, we're clearly hitting. It's just not working out. All right, good job, Fry. That was a good way to come into the game with authority. 3-pitch strikeout, make him look stupid. I don't know if backdoor cutters fool the CPU. Well, maybe he was fooled, but Jace Fry, man, good inning there. Good inning to get us still with the 5-run deficit. This is it, man. This is it. And they're sticking with Tanaka And he's still, look at the energy. He's got 105 pitches. He's like barely in the yellow. And Luis Robert sneaks that one over the second baseman's head. He's trying to single-handedly keep this game going, and I'm going to send him to third. And he's going to be in there easily with that 92 speed. Luis Robert sneakily putting together a good game here. That's his third hit of the day, I think. I think he's 3 for 4. And he's been sneaky good in the playoffs as a whole, too. I mean, he hit the double that set up the walk-off in the last game. Dang, dude, I just missed that. We're going to send him, though. I want to score a run this game. I don't want to get shut out. And he's in there. So at least... Oh, what kind of consolation prize is that? At least we put up 1 run. Well, Danny's going to do what he can to keep it going. Putting that one down the line, getting himself into scoring position. Would have been nice if he could have done that in his last at-bat with the bases loaded. Then we probably wouldn't have been in this same situation. Might have been a little different. And that one's going to do it. We can't keep it going long enough to really threaten. And we can't complete the sweep. But, you know, that is why I stressed how important that Game 3 win was to go up 3-0. Because if we lost that, then this series is tied 2-2. And we would definitely be backpedaling. Because we would have dropped 2 games in a row. So the momentum would not have been our side. But... since we won that game, since we came out in the end of a 15-inning showdown, we still are in a great spot to take this series. Still up 3-1. They got to win 3 more games in a row after this one to take this series away from us. So we just got to have 1 game where we can start hitting clutch, because that was the problem in this one. We just weren't coming through in the clutch spots. So it might be a setback, but it really doesn't worry me too much in the grand scheme of things. So we're going to get a bunch of negative momentum for losing there, which that's kind of harsh. Like -4 when we already entered in down 2-0. But I really don't know what momentum does in the playoffs at this point, because I thought maybe it helped at the beginning parts of games, but before that one we literally had max momentum. And we still came in with no runs scored and down by 2. So I don't really know how much of an effect it has, but it looks like we're going to enter into this next game trying to close out the series with a 2-1 lead in the top of the 6th once again. So we're going to get the chance to walk into this one with a lead, which hasn't been the case for the last 2 games that we've kind of struggled. But look, even though we've struggled the last 2 games, I've got nothing but confidence. That last game, we were still hitting the ball around. We just couldn't get those hits that drove anyone in. But that's all that this episode is going to be. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it done in this one. But we're still very much in the driver's seat in this series to advance to the World Series. So make sure if you like this video, hit that like button for me and subscribe to see the rest of this March to October as it comes to an end, as well as this series continue into a franchise afterward. You don't want to miss that. But with that being said, that's all for me in this one. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.